Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me in this video. Welcome. My name is Madan Gopal, and in this video we're gonna use the Birth Yantra for a birth chart reading. So we're gonna do a birth chart reading based on the Birth Yantra. So for this example, we're gonna use the birth chart of Billy Corgan, or his full name is William Patrick Corgan. He is the lead singer and songwriter of the Smashing Pumpkins. It's one of my favorite bands, so therefore I chose his chart because I'm also quite familiar with his work, so I have a better insight of his what his life was about, or his work and action is about. And we're gonna use his birth chart, so Birth Yantra, for the reading. So alright, I have already calculated his birth yantra using my website, vedicspirituality.com. I've put in all his details. And he's born on a Friday, so therefore the outer ring of his birth yantra is a hexagram with six corners. Venus is connected, it's the sixth planet, and is connected to the number 6, so it has 6 corners. The color of Venus is white, sparkly white, with all the shades from all the colors, like a diamond. So the color and the shape of Venus is here represented in the yantra because he's born on Friday. Then he's born in the hour of Guru, of Jupiter. So the inner portion is a pentagon with 5 corners, because Jupiter is connected to number 5. And the color of Jupiter is yellow, so all different types of shades of yellow. And then he is born under the rule of the 8th Swara, the long Ri. All right, so here is the long Ri. And so now we're gonna use his birth yantra, and based on that we're gonna do his birth chart reading. So in my last video I made, if you have not yet watched it, please do so. The link is in the description. There I explain all about the birth yantra, how to calculate it, and in the last few minutes of the video I explain what is the significance for this birth yantra. So the Vara, the weekday, is one of the 5 Panjangas, the 5 limbs of time. It's the weekday. And this portion of, or this aspect of the astrological chart gives especially information about the talent of a person, and the way he acts, the mode of his action, and also how he can successfully earn his livelihood, so how he can earn money. So if a person is in tune with his Vara and Hora, and he uses these energies given by him at birth for his daily activities, that means he will not face any problems in his earning. He will have a smooth life, will not face any issues. So just based on the planets, without looking at his chart, what we can say about the Venus and Guru. So Venus is art. He's an artist, he's a musician. So that is already a big part of his life, is art. He earns money with art, with music. And if anyone is familiar with his work, the way he all the artwork associated with the music, from the CD covers up to the music videos, they're always very artful. So this Venus is definitely represented in his work, in his actions. And then if he goes deeper within it, means we're going to the Hora, we see Jupiter there, and Jupiter is about creativity. So he's an artist that has not copycatted from anyone. He's really, all his work is very unique and very self-made. I mean, it's really his own creativity, and and it seems he has like an like a like waves on the ocean. He has always creativity for new, because each of his albums that he created sounds different than the other one. So he never stagnates. He never has one idea and exploits that idea for decades. But he always comes with every new song, every new album. He creates something new. So that is shown through the creativity of Jupiter. If we look at this swara, the swara, if we read here the text, the ruler, the date, the Adidevata, or the patron of the Sri swara is Aditi, the mother of the gods, and the nature of it is to be careless and act without reason. And the nature is to be vital. It is vitality, and the power is to be unpredictable. So this very much fits to his life, because he, as I said, every record he made, or any album he released, was different than the one before. And even in such that those people who liked the first album and they were expecting music in the same direction, they were very much disappointed by the new record, because it was so different and it was so unexpected. And there is even a specific interview of him where he says that they always wanted him to be in a certain way, and he always acted exactly opposite to it. So they expect him to be the big rock star. So what he did, he just shaved his head and became bald, just as a rebellion, just as a unexpected, and everyone as an unexpected action. So this is very much expressed here through this swara, that he act without seemingly without reason for others. If we now look at his birth chart, here, this is Billy Corgan, this is his yantra. We see the Venus, which is the ruler of the weekday, is in Aries, and Jupiter, the ruler of the hora, is in Cancer. If this is the South Indian style of showing the chart, if you're not familiar with it, you can take this diagram here as a help. You see the different the zodiacs. It starts always here is Aries, and then it goes in the clockwise all the 12 zodiacs. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and so on until Pisces. So we have Jupiter here in Cancer, we have Venus here in Aries, and the position from the Vara Lord to the Hora Lord is 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. 1, 2, 3, 4. So his actions will be always connected to fourth house matters. And what is the fourth house? The fourth house is the inner world. It's the emotions. And as an artist, as a musician, the way he writes the lyrics and communicates to the listeners is very much always in the realms of emotions. So the music is an expression of emotion, and especially his lyrics are revealing the very deep emotions of his personal life, or as of the human experience in general. Now we will discuss some other aspects, since we always consider Jupiter from the position of Venus, because the Vara Lord is Venus and the Hora Lord is Jupiter. But Venus we can consider in a position to the ascendants. So in a holistic chart reading, as we learned from the teachings of Maharishi Bhrigu, we consider three lagnas in the chart, three main lagnas. This is the ascendant itself. This is the sign that is on the eastern horizon at the time of the birth. Then another very important lagna is the or ascendant or point where we read the chart from is the moon, because moon is the emotions, is the self. And then also the Hora Lord is very important. That is very specific to the Brigu astrology, that importance is given to the Hora Lord, Jupiter. So we see the position of the Vara Lord, Venus, from these 3 points. We see is in the 8th from the Lagna, from the ascendant. It is in the 12th from the moon, and it is in the 10th from the Hora Lord, Jupiter. So that means his actions and the way he earns money is connected to 12th house, 8th house, and 10th house. So 10th house has to do with public and fame, his big profession. So he was a public person. 12th house has to do with loss. So during his career, he lost band members due to sudden death. He lost band members due to fight. He lost his band altogether. And loss is there. 8th house matters, transformation. So during his career, he went through a lot, artistically through a lot of transformation, emotionally through a lot of transformation, and also the circumstances of his band members changed a lot. So there are other artists, like for instance the Rolling Stones, which for 40-50 years were the same core members always together, whereas the Smashing Pumpkins or the band around Billy Corgan has changed members many times. During his year, he has had 3 different drummers, 4 or 5 different bass players, and the guitarist has also changed. So the loss of 12th house in his actions and the transformation of the 8th house in his actions are present in his life, as well as the fame and success of the 10th house. So so all this is reflected in his connection to his talents and actions and the way he earns money due to the position of Venus. And if we go to the core of his action, of his activities, if we see with what he actually works, it is always connected to 4th house matters, to emotions. His lyrics are emotional, the music itself is emotional. So he paints creativity and does art with emotions. All right. So so we have discussed about the aspect of his Vara and Hora, the connection between Vara and Hora of the 4th house. We have discussed the position of Venus in respect to the moon, the ascendant, and the Hora Lord. And now we are gonna discuss another one aspect of the birth of which is connected to the Vara Hora reading, and that is the 14 parts of the day. So within a week we have 7 days and 7 nights, and this makes 14 parts. And for these 14 parts are connected to the churning of the milk ocean. So the churning of the milk ocean, that is in the Veda, it is a story described that the demons and the demigods, they were joining together to churn the milk ocean. The demigods, they were advised by Lord Vishnu to make a truce with the demons because they were weak and could not fight against them, and to join together to take to churn the milk ocean. It's and while they were churning this milk ocean, there were different objects took birth from there, and these are 14 objects. These are here. This is the Airavata, the heavenly elephant, who became the carrier of Lord Indra. Kalpavriksha, the heavenly wishing tree. The Apsaras, the heavenly dancers. Varuni, the goddess of drink and of intoxication. Uchashravas, the heavenly horse. Kaustuba, the heavenly gemstone. Kamadhenu, the cow who fulfills all the desires, Somarasa, the nectar, which actually they were after, because drinking nectar that the gods and demigods will become immortal and strong. Then Panchajanya, the heavenly conch shell, Lakshmi Devi, Shanga, the bow, Parigyata, the special flower, Tanvantari, the heavenly healer, and Amrit, the heavenly nectar. So as you see here in this, there's the demigods led by Chandra and Surya, all the Agni Dev, Indra Dev, all the different demigods, and the demons on the other side. They were churning the milk ocean with Vasuki, the big snake. And here are the 14 items that took place. So these are connected to the days and nights of the week. So the first two, this is the daytime of Sunday, this is the nighttime of Sunday, this is the daytime of Monday, this is the nighttime of Monday, the daytime of Wednesday, nighttime of Wednesday, this is Thursday, excuse me, I just got mixed up, but this is Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, and so on. So Billy Corgan, he was born on a Friday during the daytime. So the daytime of Friday is connected to Shanga, the heavenly bow. So this is a supporter who supports his talents. So what Shanga is mean, it's a bow, so it's the center of single-mindedness and gives ability to see the target and show it to others. So if you know the Smashing Pumpkins and Billy Corgan, he is very one-pointed to the music and art itself. I mean, many rock stars, when they become famous, they get sidetracked with the fame, with the party, with the money, with the women and the drugs. But for him, it was always only about the art, the celebration of the music, of that divine gift, of the creativity. So therefore he was among of many of the famous artists. He never was lost in drugs, never lost in excessive partying and stuff, but he was always focused on his work, and through it also expressed to others the appreciation of the music, of the art. And that is supported here by this Shanga, the heavenly bow, which is connected to the daytime of Venus. So, all right. So this much is to the chart reading of Billy Corgan and how his Birth Yantra is expressed in his actions. So one thing I would like to say in the end, people like him, like artists, they usually follow very well their dharma, because anyone who becomes famous, he has not somehow on a certain point neglected his dharma, but he followed his heart, and he used the energies given to him at his birth to the full extent, and therefore they became successful and famous. Like he had in his life the opportunity to get a scholarship to study political science, but he, instead of following the political science, going for a scholarship, I mean, they pay for his whole college education, which is a very big deal in the US. He just blew that in the wind and just focused on music. So that means at that point he followed his dharma of being creative and going into arts, instead of going the safe way of a college education and having a 9-to-5 job. So if he would have chosen to go for the college and not follow art, that means he would have digressed from his dharma, and sooner or later he would have gotten into a very big crisis in his life, because he has not followed his. But famous people, usually they always follow their dharma, and therefore they are famous, and therefore they become successful because they utilize their the given energies, which in his case is now Venus, art, Jupiter, creativity, fourth house, emotions, being one pointed on the art form and not getting sidetracked by the fame and the money. So it's a beautiful example of how a person follows his birth yantra and birth chart. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned, we're gonna have more of such readings in future, and stay tuned.